take today, Jim?
Yeah, I mean, look, obviously, it was a really important game for both teams, and I thought you could see that with the way that the game started. In the opening period, it was, quite an edgy one. I thought, there wasn't a great deal between the two teams early on. But, what we found over the previous fixtures with St Mirren, that first goal is really, really important. In the previous four, more often than not, we've managed to get it and win. And unfortunately today, St Mirren got their noses in front, and it was a well worked goal from their perspective. But we were still very much in the game, still working hard to try and get back in it. But as soon as they get the second goal, then a real uphill task from there on.
Obviously make changes as well. Went for the second half, you tried to get goals back.
Yeah, I mean, look, we had to make changes. I think what St Mirren had more than us today was, it looked as if they had a bit more energy and a bit more freshness. I think this season has caught up with one or two of us. We've got players that, without making excuses, I don't want to take anything away from St Mirren because they thoroughly deserve the win today, but we've got too many players just not at 100%, playing through injuries, and I think that's been glaringly obvious in the last couple of fixtures. Hibs seemed to have a bit more, and St Mirren this afternoon definitely had more energy than us in pretty much every area of the pitch.
Is the worry that there's not much you can do to change that in the next week, Jim? You've still got two big games.
Got two massive games to come, yeah. I mean, obviously there's not a great deal of time to recover. We know how difficult the task is going to be midweek, and next Saturday here against a very good Aberdeen team. So we always knew, once we got top six, that there wasn't going to be any easy fixtures. It's it is what it is at this stage of the season. I think the group have done magnificent, to put us in this position. Of course, we're extremely disappointed with ourselves for what's happened in the last three games. But that is what happens in the top six. You tend to be playing against the best teams in the country at this stage, and I just think we've been found a little bit short in the last few.
You're still in position to do so, but do you think the players are feeling the pressures of earning that European spot?
No, I don't think they're feeling the pressure. I mean, I thought against Hibs, obviously defensively the goals were really, really poor last weekend. I don't think you could, point the finger at the players today. There wasn't a lack of effort or a lack of commitment or fight. There was no surprise with the way that St Mirren approached the game. They're really good at what they do. Stephen Robinson has them well coached. They've definitely got an identity there. They look to get the ball forward. Two big, strong, physical strikers, midfielders with lots of energy, picking up second balls, and I just thought they got the better of us in those key situations. And it is a game of fine margins sometimes. We had a couple of good opportunities in the first half, from cross balls. Sam Dalby's disappointed with a header, Ross Dockery's disappointed with a header. Goals change games. Unfortunately today we couldn't break the deadlock, and full credit to St Mirren for their victory.
It's a good thing you're still in the driving seat for that spot.